Hi, I'm Karen. I have a GoFundMe site to raise money for an appeals lawyer. I need help because I'm fighting Wells Fargo and they have more money than I do. So they also, I think a lot of you really understand about Wells Fargo. When they filed foreclosure against my house, they filed it, but they did not serve me. Now, the way that the rule of law works, like chess, you're supposed to say checkmate, or go, you're supposed to say atare. You're supposed to not just file, but serve the defendant the complaint so that they can, in fact, defend themselves. Wells Fargo did not do that. They just filed it. And then, 30 days later, a month later, after I didn't answer, they sent over a contractor to drill into my locks to seize my home for them. Okay. Their excuse, when I began being angry about it, was that my house was basically foreclosed because I hadn't answered the complaint. Now, I'm not the only one Wells Fargo has done this to. I mean, I live in Santa Fe, which is a really quite small city. And among the people that I've spoken to, I've met other people who have had the same experience from Wells Fargo. They cannot be trusted. And then they they aren't truthful, basically. And they use fraud in a number of ways to take homes that no one should ever allow them to be able to do that. But most people who have their homes taken are far afield, they're far apart from one another. So we aren't really a coherent group. So Wells Fargo, it's much easier for Wells Fargo to take our homes because we aren't in a group like would have a flood or some kind of natural disaster, and we would be a focus of news. And then people would say, well, that shouldn't be happening. And something might be done, something being, maybe, because even at that, a lot of people are left out in the cold. Okay, so I'm fighting Wells Fargo and I need your help. If you can possibly buy me a cup of coffee to contribute, that amount of money would be so useful, so helpful in hiring an appeals lawyer. The reason that we want to fight Wells Fargo to the appeals level is that when they filed that foreclosure complaint, they showed a copy of the original note, and the whole thing was written as if they had it. And when I asked them to produce the original note, then they began, with the Wells Fargo, runaround thing. So since then, back last year in 2016, the New Mexico Supreme Court had a case in which they showed that you must say in your complaint if you are prosecuting the foreclosure on the basis of a lost note. Now, Wells Fargo did not do that, even though they knew they didn't have the note. They pretended they did have it because that's how Wells Fargo behaves, pretending. So then Wells Fargo wanted to amend their complaint to show that they would say, well, we don't have it, we lost the note, but we're doing it correctly. And I said in a hearing and in motions, you can't do that. You do not have standing to foreclose if your original complaint was deficient. Well, I have a brain injury, so talking to you on my phone is a lot easier than talking in court. And I lost the hearing. I basically did a poor job. I wasn't really, I didn't track well the ideas. So then I hired a lawyer who did the rest of the thing, and there was a trial. And basically, the judge has not decided for a homeowner that either my lawyer or I know of. So it wasn't really a surprise when he didn't decide for me in my favor. So now on the 16th of November, his final order was filed and the notice of sale. So I want to continue to fight Wells Fargo. It's just, I'm not going to go down and say, oh, poor me, Wells Fargo wins. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fight them till the very end. But the thing is, I need an appeals lawyer. And one will take my case. She's looked at it. She has an excellent rating, and I want to hire her. But I need a $10,000 retainer. So if you buy me a cup of coffee, I'll save that money and use it for the retainer. And I will think of you with great gratitude. Help me fight Wells Fargo. Thanks.